So this is the kind of video that I would normally do on my second channel, which is a beauty channel, but I really wanted to talk about my experience in the book community, because I've been now in this community uploading videos about book reviews and like book related videos for pretty much a year, give or take a week. And I wanted to chat about my experience a bit because I have noticed that there are some similarities to the beauty community where I have been for over a decade at this point. And I want to get ready because I am filming another video for my second channel, and I just wanted to get ready, and I am going to be using some makeup. I'm not going to be talking about the makeup though, but I will link it down below in case you're interested in knowing what I am using, because again, makeup is what I am doing, well, at least a little bit longer for full time. And I'm actually have just announced that I am no longer going to be a full-time YouTuber as a beauty creator anymore come 2026. I'm literally just making one big last hurrah before I am gonna go back to doing YouTube part-time. And I wanted to discuss some of the similarities that I have seen between the different communities and why I think this community is heading in the exact same direction as the beauty community. People say that I'm good at predicting stuff when it comes to makeup or makeup trends, and I'm now making a prediction for the book community. I think the book community is going to be going down a similar road. Just give it a couple of more years. I feel like they're in their 2014-15 era now, and the drama is just beginning, and I'm seeing some patterns. I feel like one of the biggest things that I'm seeing in this community, which is the same as people are talking about in the beauty community, is that they are battling with the same kind of questions around consumption, overconsumption, having a collection, buying more of the same. And I've always said in the beauty community that there is a difference between loving doing your makeup and loving buying makeup. And I feel like the book community is battling with the exact same thing right now that people are talking about. Do you love reading or do you love collecting books? Do you love reading or do you love buying special edition books to keep and like just showcase in your bookcase? Like, have you read all of these 1,000 books that you have in the background of your videos, or are they here for decoration? And again, there is nothing wrong, and I say that as a person who has a lot of makeup, there is nothing wrong with enjoying owning, collecting, storing, and showcasing your makeup. And I say the same with books. There is nothing wrong with that, but I see the community battling with that same kind of like the same questions that the beauty community was battling with come 2015-17, when I feel like a lot of the audience was like, wait, this is just too many books. And also when people were doing, I say this as I am firmly in this glass house myself, not with books, but with the beauty community. People were buying makeup to declutter it, to then buy makeup again. And I think a lot of the book community is battling with the same thing now as well, with big hauls and the big unhauls where people are getting rid of books, followed by a big haul again. I will say the biggest difference that I have seen with the book community and the beauty community is that in the beauty community, when it is a declutter, it's mostly because people are, again, I don't even know if that's the truth anymore, but I will say for me, when I get stuff into my collection, I decide whether or not I want to use it. If I don't want to use it, I'm going to either donate it or I'm going to do a giveaway if it's unused. It's a little bit different with books. And then if it's used makeup, like it's something I've used in my collection and I have had it in my collection and I choose to declutter it, it's usually because either it's old or I don't like it anymore, or I've replaced it with a new favorite, or for some reason it doesn't make sense in my collection anymore. I will say when it comes to the book unhauls, the things that I've seen the most when people are unhauling things is that they are unhauling books that they bought, that they thought they were going to read, but then they changed their mind and they no longer want to read it. They're unhauling books that they bought but never read. I might be wrong. That's the unhauls that I have seen so far. Again, if you've seen different kind of unhauls, I would love to see it, because I feel like it would make more sense if you would make it like an unhaul. Let me see if I can get a powder. If you were to make an unhaul in your collection where it's like, this is a book series that I read, but I don't see myself rereading it, and I didn't even love it enough to, I was gonna look in the mirror. Wow. But I didn't love it enough to want to reread it or own it, so I'm gonna give up some space in my collection and get rid of it. I can totally see that happening, because eventually you do get more books than you have space, especially if you are a big reader. But the book hauls that I've seen have been more people buying books, never reading them, and then unhauling it. And then I am gonna be firmly in the space of, are you a reader or are you a collector? Because if you keep spending your money on books you're not gonna read just to film another video with you unhauling them, that is a little weird. With that being said, it is much easier to donate and books than it is to donate makeup, especially even if you've read the book. And if you haven't read the book, it's the reselling market even is much better than it is for makeup. So I don't see it as much of a problem as it might be in the beauty community. I'm very lucky that I have a lot of people around me that really want to go through my used makeup and get it, but not everybody has that. And of course, some people get way more than I get. And then of course it gets incredibly hard to get rid of it, because if you have 2,000 of something, like, ain't nobody out there having 2,000 friends that they can gift that makeup to. So I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I'm saying I'm seeing a similar discussion in the haul versus the clutter. That discussion is definitely there. I also am seeing a lot of the same, which the beauty community is still battling with, which is that negativity always wins. They're having a lot of issues with authenticity. There is a lot of like nabbing between bigger and smaller creators. Just as in the beauty community, the audience seem to think that the smaller creators are always the most trustworthy one. And if there is ever a discussion between a big creator and a small creator, the smaller creator is of course more authentic, is of course honest, even if there's proof showing otherwise. That's how it's always been in the beauty community as well, which is why a lot of bigger creators, way bigger than I am, don't even like read their comments or like answer back to any kind of drama, because they know that regardless of the situation, they're never going to be believed, and people are always rooting for an underdog, which is good, but I can tell you from experience, it's definitely not the case. People do not automatically turn into bad people because they get more subscribers, and there is definitely a lot of people that have less subscribers that are just stirring up drama to get more views, to get more clicks, to get more subscribers, and to get more money, because clicks and views equals money, and negativity always wins. People will always click on a video that has negativity over a video that is positive, which you can see in the beauty, like in the beauty community, as you can see in the book community. People don't even want to watch reviews. They just want to hear about the drama. And of course, people are going to do videos about the book drama rather than the books. There is so many channels in the beauty community that started out being review channels and there are now drama channels, because that's where the views are. That's where the money are, and people are following the money. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people are just not that into makeup, and some people are just not that into books that they will keep posting about it even though they'll get more money posting about drama. Because again, that's where the views are. People love hearing about the negativity. And I am seeing this already in just 1 year in the book community. The amount of people that I see on my feed in my recommended that say, I used to do book reviews, but now I mostly talk about the drama. It is deja vu. I'm telling you, it is exactly the same cycle as it was in the beauty community. And it's because negativity always sells, it always gets more views, and for some reason, people always think that someone is negative is more honest than someone that's positive. I don't know where that came from, but trust me when I say it is exactly the same in the book community. And just as in makeup YouTube, there are so many accounts that are dedicated to, on YouTube, to talking in long form about drama that happens on TikTok, just as in beauty. And I see that that is happening with TikTok now as well. And I'm just like, dang, it is just a cycle, y'all. And just as in beauty YouTube back in 2016 or something, when we were having a couple of beauty gurus that were really hyped and everybody was talking about them, now the book community has something that people are referring to the big three. I don't understand really where this was coming from. Let me see if I can get a little bit more pigment. I don't even know 100% which these three are, but I keep hearing people referring to them, and I'm just thinking that these are three big TikTokers. I do know that one of them is Jana, I think her name is Jana. I've actually met Jana. Funny story, I've met Jana at a beauty event where she was only doing beauty. So sweet, so incredibly, like, just nice, just a really, really nice person. There was like nothing bragging or ostentatious about her in any way. Like, she was just a really, really nice person. I truly enjoyed her. And at that event, I started following her. I don't know if she's still following me, but I enjoyed her videos a lot. And she started doing YouTube, and then she started doing a lot of makeup TikTok. I'm just saying that I feel like they're finally coming into their... When I started hearing about this, the big three, again, I don't know who the other two are. When I started hearing about that, I was like, they are now in their final form. The book talk, bookstagram, booktube community is finally in their final form, because now they have appointed the big three, which they can now fight over. They can like join in on hating them together, sometimes for no reason, if they make any kind of drama, big or small. And I'm sure they've done big mistakes, but I'm sure they've also done really small mistakes that make it into a drama reaction video on YouTube that everybody is just watching. And I feel like this is the final form. This is when you have arrived to what YouTube, beauty YouTube was in like 2016. And I don't even, as someone who was here when that empire was falling, I am just like, I don't know if this is what you want, y'all, okay? It's just turning the community that I thought was like so positive, and I was so excited to get into it. And then all of a sudden, everybody stopped reviewing books because there was more money in gossip. And I'm just like, this is a deja vu, y'all, and I'm not sure if I'm here for it. Let me get a Liffy on. Haven't used this in a half minute. I also wanted to compare there is this also some kind of a drama, I don't even know what I want to call it, between people who read just for fun, which you're allowed to do, and then people that are, I'm gonna be honest with you, there are some real pretentious people out here that just hate things just for hating. You know, the people that carry around, you know, poems under their arm where they're having a coffee just to show people how smart they are. You know the type. Those people are littered all over this platform, and they will literally not hold back on how stupid some people are for not reading for knowledge. And I think this comes back to, do you remember the fight that was between makeup artists and like beauty YouTubers back in the day, where makeup artists were literally like, you don't even go here. Saying that makeup was an art form, it was about following some like rules, and you can't do your makeup like this, and these are not real makeup artists, when creators were just out here being like, I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm just trying to have fun. And I feel like we're having that fight again, where there are literally the amount of videos where I've seen where people will start their videos with, so I have a degree in English. And it's like, okay, good. Good for you. And I don't necessarily argue the point that like some people are better at reviewing makeup than others. If you have been using a lot of makeup on yourself and on others, if you have been part of creating makeup, of course you are going to be, I'm going to be honest, better at reviewing formulas than some others. But it's the same with books. If you have a formal degree from university in like creative writing or language or anything like that, you're probably going to be better at reviewing a book. But I think that sometimes, and this is the exact same point that I feel like was missed when it came to the beauty creators. I am going to be using this palette. I will link it down below. That was missed with the like beauty creators that was just doing it for fun, and the makeup artists that was just really upset about everything. Do I have a mirror here? Oh, let me see if I can use this one. Oh, I can use this one. It is that at the end of the day, the people that are selling these books, the authors, the publishing companies, the bookstores, they're not trying to reach necessarily the people that have a degree in English. I mean, that's nice if you can reach those too, but those are not as many in quantity as the people who just want to have a good time, okay? And I think that a lot of times when it comes to these areas, people are just out here trying to have a business, okay? They're just trying to sell their books and reach the masses. And the masses are, I don't want to say unfortunately, but let's be honest, the masses are not people that have a degree in creative writing or in English or in any kind of classic literature that's out here dissecting the choice of words in a book. It is mostly just people like me who just read to have fun. And I think sometimes these really critical, sometimes overly pretentious people, they kind of forget that just because you learn through reading, just because you challenge your brain through reading, and others don't, doesn't mean that they don't learn in other ways or challenge their brain in other ways. Like, it's mind-boggling to me that is the assumption that you would make, that people only develop their brains and learn in the exact same way as you do, and if they don't, they're stupid. And I'm just like, that's the pretentious part. And I am really sick and tired of people saying that it's not enough to enjoy the book. It is enough to enjoy the book, but it doesn't mean that you can't criticize some of the problematic things that are happening in books. Like, for example, I've done some book reviews where I've given books a 2 or 3 star and basically said there were some entertaining parts of this book, but there were also some parts that I thought was really problematic. And usually it is very overly toxic male leads where I'm like, I understand that you're trying to write like a bad boy, but this is just not it, okay? I've met these boys in real life, and this is not the happily ever after that comes, okay, in the last couple of chapters. Speaking from experience. But that doesn't mean that I say that people can't enjoy them or that people can't have a good time reading them. And I feel like I also see that with, oh my god, I saw this video and it was honestly, this was my mouth when I watched the video. Someone was saying that their reviews were better than others because they didn't put in any B-roll in their videos. If you didn't know what B-roll is, like, this is B-roll or this is B-roll. It's like when you're putting something, A-roll is me talking here right now. This is the roll of the camera where I'm sitting down talking, the A-roll. B-roll is like extra things you're putting on. Maybe you're trying to show unpacking something. Maybe you're trying to show a picture. Maybe you're like popping something up just to like make it more interesting. Or for me, it's usually to like explain something further. Like if I'm talking about a book, I usually put the book cover up so that you know what I'm talking about, because I think sometimes when people are like waving the book around, I'm just like trying to see what book they're talking about, and then they don't put anything in the description box, and then the review was really not helpful because I'm still here being like, so what was the book? So B-roll can be to further explain your point or to be entertaining in a video or for any other reason, but this reviewer was saying that using B-roll in your videos was basically kind of admitting to your audience that your reviews could not stand on their own, and it was like joining the circus. It was baffling to me. And I almost think that these kind of things, I've seen that in the beauty community too, where people are like, oh my god, this person got this expensive camera and this expensive lens and all of these lights, and now their videos are not authentic anymore. And it's like, I don't think that that's what the authenticity is about. I think everybody when you're on this platform for long enough, and if you start like, even especially if you start making some money on this, you might want to like make your videos a little bit more polished. You might want to get an editing software that allows you to cut out stuff that you don't want to have in the video, or pop up some pictures when you're talking about a book or a makeup product, or a better lighting so that you always can trust on having good lighting and you don't have to film when there's like a special kind of weather that's shining through the window, or a camera that actually picks up the colors correctly so you don't look like my videos in the beginning. I look like a zombie. Like I was gray. I'm not even kidding. I was gray. This was me on my old camera. Now, what you're seeing, this is how I look. I don't do any like color correcting on my videos in the editing software, because I now have a good enough lighting lens and camera from working with makeup that my videos don't need any color correction because I've already done that in pre-production, so I don't have to do it in post-production. But there are people out there that literally think that your videos are more authentic if you are just filming on nothing. And I don't think that has anything to do with your videos. Your videos could be awful with a great production, and your videos could be awful with low production. That has nothing to do with how entertaining you are or how interesting your videos are. But I do think that sometimes people forget that the people that get the better production value in their videos, it is because they had a success on the platform and they were able to reinvest some of that money into better equipment or better editing, or maybe even an editor. I do have an editor on my second channel. You were able to invest some of that money back into your channel because you wanted to have a bit of a better production. That's not the reason why they were able to invest into better production. It was because their videos were fun and entertaining and they were bringing value and they were getting views, and then they invested. I don't know many people who started out with great production straight out of the gate and then just, grew from there. It's always the other way around. That people are starting out filming on a baked potato or like mom's old calculator, and they're editing it on their old Samsung phone, putting it up. The sound is like you're in a tin can. The lighting is like you're in the cave together with Dracula, but you're entertaining, so you get an audience and you keep building. And this extreme snootiness about keeping it authentic and not using nice equipment and stuff, I don't see the problem with this. And I also think that like a lot of people, they will look at what big YouTubers or creators are doing and they will be like, so this is what I need to do to be big. And then they don't make it and they become sad. Like they invest a lot of money into expensive equipment. And I always tell people, if you're going to start something on social media, never invest a single dime before you know, A, do I like it? B, am I any good at this? And C, do people enjoy what I'm doing? These are the three things you need to make sure that you're already having down before you put down any money. Whatever phone you're having right now, like I'm saying, just film on a baked potato. Like it doesn't matter. That is not the reason why people are growing. It is not because of the production value. They're adding on the production value because they had that like the trinity of great things in the foundation to build on. I'm trying to figure out what shades I want to use. I don't know. I think I'm going to use this one because it has like a, or do I want to use, I don't know what I'm doing, famous last words. No, I think I'm going to use this one and then this one. Is that even true? Might even just use this one. Is that boring? Oh my God. If you were here, you'd be like, Angie, use some of the fun things. But I just really want to use this one. It is not as flaky as the one I used last time, but I think I'm gonna spray it. And also remember, one way to get really good views, which people in the beauty community do it, and people in the book community most definitely do it, is to shit on really well-loved and popular series. If you put up a video where you are hating on the popular romantic series right now, you are gonna get a lot of views. There are so many people in the beauty community that buy makeup that they know they're gonna hate, and then they do a video about hating the makeup to get the views and make the money back that they invested in the product. Like, it is literally a content strategy at this point. And best believe there are people in the book community that are doing the exact same thing. They are reading a book they know they're not gonna like. They know they don't like romance books. They know they don't like romantasy or fantasy with romance in it. And they get the book and they read it because it's hyped right now. They see what's the new hyped book. They'll buy it. They'll dislike it, which they already knew they were going to dislike it. And then they'll make a video saying how much they dislike it. Maybe they'll even say they dislike it even more than they actually do, because if you use some heavy words and you really like animate it in the short or in the video, you're gonna get even more people clicking on the video, and some people are gonna agree with you because, of course, some people don't like the popular books, which is fine. There are some popular books that I've read that I really did not enjoy, but I think that people are forgetting in this space, the way that people for a really long time in the beauty community, but also forgetting the money is in the views. The views is the currency. And some people will say and do things for the plot to get the views, to which one do I want to use? To get the views, to get the AdSense or the TikTok creator fund money in, and that's how people are paying the rent. And it could be their opinions. It could be their opinions, but it could also not be their opinions. But it doesn't really matter because it gets you the views and it gets you the money. And I think that for a really long time in the beauty community, this was totally overlooked. And there were so many people doing videos like this. They would call it brutally honest reviews. And they would shit on things because they knew it would get them views. Regardless if it was true or not. It doesn't even matter. But they were focusing on things that they didn't like. You would see creators buying new releases from a brand that they always hate the releases from this brand. They always hate it, but for some magical reason, they would keep buying these releases just to make a video about how much they hate it still. And it is the same in the book community. And I've seen it so much. I've seen so many people make shorts and make videos because they got this book, or maybe they got it in an arc, or maybe they requested it as an arc in a genre or from an author that they are known to hate. But they buy it and they read it just for the plot, just for the content, just for the views, just for the money. And this I am seeing quite a lot. And I gotta be honest with you, I do reading for entertainment, for relaxation. The fact that I would go out of my way to read something that I know I'm gonna dislike just to make some money makes me like sweat. It gives me hives. Like I cannot see a world where I would be doing that. Is this what I want for this look, or do I want it a little darker? I might want it a little dark. Oh, I'm drinking my caffeine water. I love these sparkling caffeine water. This is my favorite flavor. This is cranberry apple. Really, really like that one. Let me do a little bit of the black too, actually. Again, for the plot. But I think that we are seeing a lot of that very performative reviews from people that are doing it just to get the views. And again, if this is your job, if this is how you're paying rent, that is totally fine. But I think as viewers, and again, I am first and foremost in this community, I am a viewer, we need to remember this person might be exaggerating to pay the bills. And that is fine. Internet, the way that internet is right now, social media, it is a performance. It is not always super authentic, which is the main reason why I decided to back out of it. Because I don't want to be a performer. I don't want to be a salesperson. I don't want to be a performer. And right now you are not being rewarded for being yourself. And I need you to remember this as well when you're on here. People are performers and entertainers, even the small creators. So this video is not coming to you from any place of malice. This is just me recognizing that some of the patterns that I saw in the beauty community, where it went from this place where people were just enjoying makeup, creating things, sharing their passion, sharing their favorite products, until whatever the fluff TikTok shop is right now, where people are just turning into TV salespeople, just trying to sell you the newest thing. They're being drop shipped from Lord knows where. I don't want that to happen to the book community, and I understand that it is hard to look away when you're seeing, and some things are not even drama. Some things are true controversies that actually do need to be hatched out and actually do need to be talked about. But remember that what you are clicking on, and I said that in the beauty community as well, but you all see where that's gone. What you are clicking on is what the creator is going to make more of. So we can't just be clicking on these negative videos and then in 4 years complain that there are no positive book reviews anymore. It doesn't work like that. We as the audience, we are deciding in what direction we want these things to go. If you don't like the big people being big, unfollow them. If you don't want to see as much drama on your timeline, don't click on it. If you're thinking that some creators that you used to watch because they were doing book reviews and now they're being super negative and you don't like it anymore, unfollow. That's all you can do, really. And again, I don't think that there's anything wrong with discussing current events, but I do see a lot of similarities in the timeline as to where things are heading. And I really, really hope that people keep enjoying just the love of actually reading the way that I still enjoy the love of actually applying makeup, and not forget about that and just be on the meta level where they're discussing events and drama and things that are above the actual makeup products. Nobody's interested in the actual makeup products anymore, and I really, really hope that the book community does not come to a part where nobody is actually interested in the stories anymore. Okay, I said my piece. My next video on this channel, I think it's gonna be my TBR jar, or was that the video that was just live? I don't know. I know that both of those are going up at somewhat the same time, but I do have a couple of more book videos planned for this month, because for next month, for December, because I actually have a couple of things that I really want to talk about. I want to talk about, finally, it's time for cowboy romance. I want to talk about a book series that I'm in the middle of, which ones I am DNFing and which series I'm going to be continuing. And also I want to talk about the best and the worst books of this year so far. Well, not so far. We're at the end of it, where we are right now. But I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. If you want to see more book content, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you soon in a new video.